Good day, everyone. As I make this recording now, it is clear for me that I am quite upset about this subject matter. I've done the first recording without turning on my microphone. I've done the second recording just upset. And this is hopefully the third recording, and this will be the one that I send out to you. So I need to calm down. I am frustrated, worried, not confused, sad that people are willing to give away their freedom so easily. And as I speak about this brief subject matter, those of you that attended my meetings around the country, for those of you that don't know, I held many meetings, over 300 meetings, met with over 10,000 people around South Africa to speak about something that I was aware of, that I believe people needed to know. And I spoke to people in person. But I'm going to give you a bit of that detail now, especially if you're new. And then for the people that have been in those meetings, I want to tell you now that we are in the first year, probably within the first 6 months, of the 2-year period that my father spoke of, when he said that post this pandemic that would come, where there would be this virus released on the world that will kill the sickly people, where the world will be put under lockdown. When he told me this in 2004, he knew that people would go back into a lull after these lockdowns are over, and after the house arrests are over. He called it house arrest, when this is over. And the fact that he learned this in 1984 in Geneva, Switzerland, at a meeting where a group of people meet together, that is loosely called the Committee of 300, should make your hair stand on end. The fact that he said this was meticulously planned back then, it never materialized in his lifetime. He passed on in 2011, but it happened just more than a decade later. And the fact that it did happen is what shook me. I thought my father was crazy to say that something that worldwide would ever take place. And most people, if you ask them 5 months into the pandemic, if they would have believed, if I told them 5 months before that they would hand over their freedoms the way they did, to restrict movement, shopping and all sorts of things, they would have said, no ways will I do that. But you did. You did. You handed over your freedom on a platter, and our South African Constitution allowed it. Why? Because our South African Constitution allows the government right over your life, to protect your life. Our Constitution gives government the right to protect your life, not you. And you need to understand this. And why I'm upset is because I see this 2-year lull taking place right now, where people are just carrying on with their lives, where they are starting to get back on their feet, exactly as my father described. And I rue every day that something that my father said is happening in front of my eyes, because I really despise the things that he spoke of. It was not just annoying to me, it symbolized his absence from my life and from him being a father in my life. He became so obsessed with these things, and maybe a person can try and understand it, that he devoted his entire life to trying to fight the very people that wants to remove your freedom. And he knew that it'll be a complete removal of your freedom. Total and utter surveillance states, smart city systems, a world where you will have no more choice left. None. You will cease to be human because you will have no more choice. This is what separates us from animals, is our minds, the way we can think, the way we can reason, the way we have created this sophisticated society where people can have freedom to exercise their choices and live by the consequences of those choices. Now, this future world that's been created right now, your choices will not only be limited more and more, they will come to naught. And this is the frightening thing, that people are so obsessed and busy with trying to survive in the system that was created to put them in this state, that they will not listen beyond that which involves their month to month and day to day and week to week survival. And this is sad. This makes me sad, because we do need people to overcome that. We do need people that can rise above this. We need you to change. We need the people that want to remain free to do something about it, to even join our movement, follow our plan, or come up with your own plan and just do something to remain free. And the enemy is not in our government. They are but useless tools in the global enemy's hands. The enemy is a global one that wants to remove our freedom, our right to choose. And lest you forget what we experienced during this past pandemic, where your freedoms were removed, where your movements were restricted, where you were told what you may and may not do, where politicians absolutely loved the fact that they could control your lives, where police were turned against the citizens of this country and brutally beat women and even children, where mass psychosis took hold of this country in South Africa, where people believed in grabbing at any straw to save them from this impending doom that never was what it was said to be. I drove through the Free State and other provinces where graves were being dug by the thousands that were never filled, where centers were put up for tens of thousands of people that were never filled. And yet, here we are today, carrying on as if nothing happened. Well, I have news for you. Good news, I will give to you last. The first news I have for you is that the global goal is to remove all your freedom, everyone's freedom. No one will be left behind. Every one of you will be influenced by this to the maximum. When Klaus Schwab said that you will own nothing and be happy, he meant it. He's a member of this committee that my father served on. A member of the committee of 300, call them the Olympians, it doesn't matter what you call them. What's important is that King Charles is the figurehead of that committee, that his son, Prince William, also serves on that committee, as well as all the rest of the royal family, other royal families, and all the aristocracy of the world. They are all represented there, and they have formed a shadow world government that is making decisions for your government and other organizations and corporations, and money is being used as only a tool, because money is not power. The power to control money is absolute power as long as you need it. So what I'm asking you to do as we prepare to start giving Omega training in September, that you consider becoming a part of that, that you join that training. It is for free. It's not going to cost you anything. Make that effort. Become a part of a solution that can fight against global powers that want to remove every bit of freedom you have. My father said that after this 2-year lull period is over, the world will be prepared for something to be unleashed that will kill most of the world's population. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to happen. I'm not saying that what he said was true. He had no reason to lie to me. None. What he said in 2004 about what happened in 2020, 2021, throughout that time period came true 100%. In South Africa, in the most meticulous detail. It happened. I didn't want it to happen. And everything else that he spoke of is still taking place right now. It hasn't stopped. That includes you not caring about this. It includes you deciding that this is not important anymore. I feel free. As long as I can shop for whatever I want and I have the money to buy something, I am free. And you have a right to feel that way. I understand it. But one thing I can tell you is you will lose everything with that mindset. You will lose everything. If we work together in South Africa as a group of people that are empowered with the knowledge that we need, we can change that future outcome. And we can make sure that the Southern African region does not fall prey to what Europe, the Asiatic nations, and the Americas will experience. We are in a very special country in the world, at the southern tip of Africa. And in the southern tip of Africa, we can take steps to mitigate what will happen in the rest of the world. Join us in doing that. I know that this was a mouthful. Just remember, for those that attended my over 300 meetings, if you were one of the more than 10,000 people that came to those meetings, remember what I said, the 2 years, we are in the first 6 months of those 2 years now. Now, it doesn't mean that post the 2 years that all hell will break loose. Not at all. The people will be ready because they are lulled into a sense of security they do not deserve. People, you need to now apply your mind. Look at what's happening around you. Watch these boring videos we put out on this channel. The stuff you're not interested in. Because when the time comes and these things start affecting you, and I always tell people, you don't have to warn people about things. It'll happen to them. Things will happen to you. And when they happen to you, you will have no choice but to remember, I remember someone said that we should do X, Y, Z. As long as you start, become a part of the solution. Change your mindset to one of comfort, consume, to one of awareness. And I'm not saying you shouldn't enjoy your life, you absolutely should. I encourage people to do that. Be aware and prepare. Become self-reliant. Get the things you need to survive. Make sure you invest in those things. And after that, join us where we can work together as individuals with the same common goal to make sure that we maintain freedom for humanity in the South African region. Not just freedom for humanity, but preserve humanity and protect humanity. And this is what Omega is all about. Join us. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please share this with your friends and family. Like this video and talk about your freedom. It matters. If it doesn't matter to you, this video is not for you. This channel is not for you. You can pass these videos by. They will not serve you. Thank you very much. Till the next video.